watching this video, you probably have an interest in psychedelic or psychoactive substances. Now, I'm not promoting the use of these substances. I'm simply doing this for educational and safety purposes. I have a lot of experience with different substances, and mainly in the hallucinogenic category or psychedelic category. And I research a lot about drugs, so I have this weird obsession about researching it. I have interest in the chemical structures or biological structures and how they interact with different receptors in the brain, all that kind of neuroscience kind of cool stuff. Anyways, so I hope I can educate you a little bit on the drugs, the dangers and effects, and how you can use them safely, but of course there's always risks when it comes to using a substance. So now today we were mainly talking about safety and harm reduction. So first things first, research. Okay, you absolutely must research the drug of your choice. Now that means spend like a couple hours just researching about this drug. You want to know the dosages, the legal matters, the duration, the effects, positive and negative, the long-term damages, what it looks like, and the lethal dose. Very important things when it comes to safety. So you should not pop a random drug at a party or a rave. It is just not a good idea. One, you don't know what substance it is for sure. Somebody could have said, oh, it's MDMA or something like that. But you don't know for sure. Things can get cut. So, and also you don't know the dosages. You might take too much. So, I recommend that you get a test kit. Test stuff like MDMA or Coke if you're going to do that. Personally, Coke is way up there. It's a heavy drug. It's a hard drug. You do not do cocaine. So, anyways, because you don't want a bad trip. You don't want to have a bad trip when you're experiencing something that you want it to be awesome. So do your research first. Time and setting. So, okay, so you got your drugs, you know what it is, and you have a planned dose. It is important to have plenty of time when, and that your duration of your dose that you took, because some substance may take up to 24 hours, or even like LSD can last 8 to 20 hours, so you kind of want to know what you're in for and how much time you require, so that you're not going somewhere. You don't want to be going somewhere, okay? So very important. Setting as well as the people you're with is just as important. Try to get things ready before you trip, get comfortable with your setting, find something to watch or look at, or, make sure your phone's off, your doors are locked, music is on because it's a mood setting thing, and that nothing will intrude on your trip. It is not good or safe to trip at a party because there's many aspects that could induce a bad trip, especially like if you don't trust somebody at the party, or whatever. I recommend staying home with a few buddies, and maybe somebody sober. It's important to have somebody sober, around at least, that you can either call into the other room or whatever, to kind of help things if things go wrong. Like, for example, I let my family know, so they know if I'm calling, I might need help. So, anyways, time and setting, very important things. Dosages. So those can vary between different drugs, and higher doses can last longer and be more intense. That's why it's important to research your dose amount. So it is important to start small, right? Because a large dose might be too intense for you. You don't expect it. It can happen. Um, so and once you've experienced a higher level, lower doses won't seem as amazing. So it's definitely worth taking the stairs instead of the elevator or the rocket ship, whichever one you did. Anyways, know your limits. Okay. Mindset is just as important as anything else, because if you're not in a good mood, if you are sad or just angry about something, you're not in the right mindset, don't use it. Just wait till a better time. Common sense. You don't want to. Those feelings are going to project into your trip. It's just going to happen. Now, if it's feelings about your life, like you're upset about failing at something, I'm, I, you would learn a lot. If you took a trip, it might be bad. It might be very bad. It might be very hard on you. But let's just say, here's a good example. Like I've had a bad trip before, where I took 4 Gs of wet mushrooms the night before a math exam, and I was failing math. So, very bad time to do that sort of thing. So my time was not right. My setting wasn't right because my mom did not know that I had been doing it. So I had to kind of keep my eyes away from her from the dilated pupils. Anyways, so it kicked in 20 minutes, and it was very, very intense. Not visually intense at first, but anxiety and fear of losing a credit, fear of failing, fear of not moving to Hamilton and starting my career, because that was my plan. This is grade 12, and I was doing grade 11 math, so I had failed before. Not too hard to do it again, when you're a procrastinator. So I was very anxious. I was even trying to do my my homework while I was on shrooms, and it didn't help. It made things worse for me, mentally, and also you just can't do work on it. You look at the pages and they're just too confusing, too distracting. There's too much stuff moving around on you. It's too distorted, I would say. Not distorted, but I mean altered, yeah. Okay. So, but it was a very enjoyable trip because I went for a walk and everything was vivid purple, and there was trails, and I was laughing, and then I went to the park, and I kind of sat on the swing and enjoyed the ground, moving, and the stars, moving around and stuff like that. It was very, very cool. I don't recommend going outside, but you're not gonna listen. So, anyways, yeah, and it, by the end of the trip, it felt like, I had taken a filing cabinet, opened it, and, took all the files out, sorted through them, organized them, and put them back in that file folder. And it seemed like my lenses were clean. I needed to feel those feelings to actually care, because when I went into the trip, I didn't care about failing math. It was the whole reason about doing drugs the night before, is because obviously you're being affected by what you're feeling internally, and you're not bringing it to the surface. So that kind of made me more aware of that. So yeah, when people have bad trips, it can really traumatize them. And maybe they'll never do it again, because, you can literally go to hell with some bad trips. That was a very mild bad trip. I haven't had any other bad trip before. No, not really. I'm pretty safe when it comes to using these substances. So be very careful, take every precaution. You only have one brain and one life, so it's always good to protect that. Well, that's it for today. If you like what I had to say, or you have something you want me to add, or a video you want me to, or a thing you want me to talk about, like a substance, please subscribe or comment in the box below. And I left some links in the description. Some very useful sources like Earwid. It's a great drug encyclopedia. It'll give you so much information. Now, don't make that your only source of information. There's so many sources. You gotta use multiple sources. You gotta compare. Okay, that's one source. You gotta compare. It's just common sense here. So, Earwid.com, big drug encyclopedia. I ask that you donate so Earwid stays on the website. It would suck if it wasn't up anymore. Anyways, so Neural Soup is a channel on YouTube. She's great. She has many videos, trip reports, all that kind of stuff, safety precautions. She's doing exactly what I'm doing. She kind of inspired me to do this, but every look on things counts. So definitely go check out her videos as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Alexander Force, and peace.